Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi. This song was from 92-93 on the album Keep the Faith. Definitely, well, a die-hard fan, I am sure. Gorgeous song it is. So I bumped into this acoustic version of them. I think it was called AOL something, was from 2002 or whatever, and in which they played acoustically, and I thought, well, from there it is easier to tackle when it's just you and your guitar and your voice. So he plays everything there in the key of E, using those shapes. He is tuned down a half step though. If you want to match it with the original recording in which he sings like crazy high, it's like a max effort that he did. It's just amazing how he was able to put that on record. So then you need to caper the guitar on the first fret. If you want to match it with this particular performance that I talked about, then you need to tune down your guitar a half step. I am in standard tuning now, indeed playing everything with shapes in the key of E. So let me tell you about that. He simply starts a song with this A sus2 and back to E with a sus4, by the way, and then he just starts singing. Sitting here wasted at this old piano, trying hard to capture the moment. This morning I don't know. So far so good, just those two chords. Let me point out one more thing. The song is in 12/8. So a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I tend to want to count it as 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a whole measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. I'll remind you when we get into lesson, don't get me wrong, but this is indeed how it goes. Then to yes, so we have a G sharp minor here. So, let me point out two more shapes that he uses for B. It would basically be like a power chord shape here on the second fret. Roots and fifths. You could play the top string there. I mean, it's fine. You would have like, what is it, a B sus4. And he actually uses this same shape for E major when, well, later in the song. Like here on the 7th fret, because very often, like at the end of, well, a couple of the verses or the chorus or whatever, or when getting into the chorus, he would play an E and then goes down to a B with a D sharp in the bass, and then this move is a tad, well, easier, like so. Then in the chorus you would have like a I want us down in a bed of roses. So a C sharp minor here. So we already talked about E and A, of course, also here, an E, and then we had like a G sharp minor, a C sharp minor, then there is, what else is in there? Yes, a B with a D sharp in the bass. I already showed you this one, but in other parts you might want to go for this shape. Then there's an A with an E in the bass. You could go for this one, or simply down here with a low E in the bass. And as for the chords, we are basically already there. Okay, so there are a couple of time signature changes in the song. So most of the song of the arrangement is 12/8, but here and there it would be like all of a sudden a 6/8. Some chords are like real, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. You know the song really well. You will hear it. I hope you will hear it. Let's put it that way. And otherwise, I'll point it out. As for the strumming, keep it very simple. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and da 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 da. will get into it a little, well, not even much more in depth, because this is really it. And what is nice at one point is this. Maybe accentuate the middle of the measure there a little, because that's when the snare of the drums comes in. So now the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 down. Well, and so on. Okay, so now, I already talked about quite a few details already. I'll get into everything else that you need to know in order to play the song. I will point out the things that they are doing and the things that you don't have to necessarily do because the bass player is already doing it. You know, it depends on what you want out of it. Okay. Bed of Roses, John Bon Jovi is what I wanted to say. Well, he's the frontman, that is, but this is definitely Bon Jovi. Gorgeous song. Check it out at totallyguitars.com.